Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will be exploring a very important and emotional question that is resonating across the Muslim world and beyond. Will Muslim nations form a united army for Gaza? This subject has gained momentum after the recent events in the region, where the humanitarian suffering of Palestinians has reached an unbearable level. Millions of people are asking whether the Muslim world, with its immense resources and large populations, can come together to form a collective force that not only speaks for Gaza, but also acts decisively. To understand this fully, let's break it down step by step, just as one would review an important development from all angles, considering the exterior, interior, performance, safety features, unique selling points, price, and finally, the overall conclusion. When we look at the exterior, what we see is the overall political landscape and international environment surrounding this idea. From the outside, Muslim-majority countries such as Turkey, Iran, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and others have consistently voiced strong support for Palestine. They have condemned Israeli actions and pledged humanitarian assistance. International organizations like the Organization of Islamic Cooperation have issued statements for decades. But the challenge has always been moving from words to action. The exterior view clearly shows that while the potential exists, the presence of deep rivalries, such as tensions between Iran and Gulf states, or different alignments with Western powers, makes the idea of a united army highly complicated. This political climate forms the visible exterior of the debate. The interior, on the other hand, reflects the emotional heart of the issue. For ordinary Muslims, the situation in Gaza is not just another news story, it is deeply personal. Across cities in the Middle East, South Asia, Africa, and beyond, millions are taking to the streets to demand unity and real action. The interior is short but powerful. It is filled with emotions of solidarity, pain, and frustration. People want their leaders to put aside differences and come together for Gaza. And this emotional pressure continues to grow every time new violence unfolds. Performance is where we ask how such an army would function if it were ever formed. The reality is that several Muslim nations already have formidable military power. Turkey has NATO's second-largest army. Pakistan is a nuclear power with a strong defense industry. Iran has developed missile and drone technologies. Gulf nations possess some of the most advanced Western weapons money can buy. If combined, their performance in terms of military strength could rival or even surpass many of the world's most powerful alliances. But performance does not depend on weapons alone. It requires trust, coordination, and shared strategy. Without these, even the strongest armies can fail to deliver effectively. And history has shown that coordination among Muslim states is one of the biggest challenges. Safety features in this context are about the intended benefits of such a united force. A Muslim army could act as a protective shield for Gaza, deterring aggression, opening humanitarian corridors, and ensuring aid reaches people in need. It could give Palestinians a sense of security that international organizations have failed to provide. But just like in any review, safety features can also come with risks. Such a move could escalate into larger regional wars, draw in superpowers, and destabilize the economies and societies of Muslim nations themselves. The safety of Gaza could be secured, but the safety of the wider Muslim world could be jeopardized without careful planning. The unique selling points of this idea are what make it so appealing to the masses. For the first time in modern history, Muslim nations could demonstrate unity not just in conferences, but on the battlefield, proving that they are willing to back their words with action. This could transform the political standing of the Muslim world, bring dignity to Palestinians, and shift global dynamics. It would be a turning point where divisions are replaced by solidarity, and power is used for protection and justice rather than rivalry. Symbolically, this is perhaps the most powerful reason why so many Muslims support the concept of a united army. When we look at the price, it becomes clear why leaders are cautious. The financial cost of creating and sustaining such a force would be enormous. Military alliances require advanced logistics, coordination, and continuous funding. Beyond money, the political price would be even heavier. Countries risk facing sanctions, loss of trade, and potential direct confrontation with Israel's allies, including powerful Western nations. For leaders of Muslim countries who are already dealing with economic crises, inflation, unemployment, and political challenges at home, the price of entering a full-scale military alliance for Gaza is a burden they are reluctant to carry. In conclusion, the question of whether Muslim nations will form a united army for Gaza remains highly complex. On paper, the resources, manpower, and military strength exist to create one of the most formidable armies in the world. In reality, divisions, geopolitical calculations, and the heavy price make it difficult to turn this vision into reality. What we are seeing today is symbolic unity through aid, speeches, and demonstrations, rather than a practical military alliance. However, the growing pressure from the Muslim public cannot be ignored forever. If the suffering in Gaza continues and the calls for unity grow louder, leaders may one day find themselves forced to move from statements to action. Whether or not a united army is ever created, Gaza has already become the ultimate test of unity for the Muslim world.